What's happening? It's B.A. Shepherd reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. Today, I want to talk to you about, let's call it body image. Thick and full or slim and trim. Now, if you look behind me, there's a tree right there that is still a little full. It's rounded, has a few leaves on it. Now, this tree right here, she has lost her leaves. It may not be a female tree. It's this tree right here. Let's not make it a she or a he or anything else. This tree right here has lost its leaves. And so it looks a little different. A few weeks ago, it was full of leaves, but now the leaves are gone. Why? Because the seasons are changing. And so sometimes we get focused on ourselves and we look at ourselves and we forget that we're in process, and we start comparing ourselves in a moment and making it our eternal identity. So where you're at right now is not where you were months ago or a year ago. No, it doesn't matter how you look. You are always in change and always in process. And so comparing yourself one against another, it's a bad idea. And here's why. Because no matter what, this tree right here will never be this tree right here. Now, their roots are probably, meeting and touching underneath the ground, underneath the surface, but they will never have the same experience. One is planted in one place, the other is planted in another place. And I think if we personify them for a second, those trees wouldn't have a discussion about comparison and how I'm lacking and how you still have a few leaves and, oh, look at you, your leaves are still there and mine are on the ground. No, I think if we really personify them, each one of those trees would realize that they have an individual purpose. And it's not about the way that they look. So somehow society has sold humans with all of our intellect on the idea that we are supposed to compare ourselves one against another. Oh, thick is in this season. Oh, thin is in this season. And so we start this whole process of manipulation so that you can be controlled. Don't fall for it. It's a gimmick. Because someone wants to sell you something. Someone is selling you captivity. They're selling you bondage by trying to control your mind and making you think that you're lesser than what you are. This tree right here that has very few leaves left is still perfect in this moment. It is magnificent in this moment. Think about it. That tree has stood through each of the seasons. It's done its job in each season. It is perfect. The tree next to it has done its job in its season, and it is perfect. See, in your seasons, you are perfect when you realize that you are standing still. Regardless of what's been happening, regardless of the abuse or the mistreatment, regardless of your success or your failures, when you're still standing, doing what you are meant to do, when you are still moving in your calling, when you are still impacting the world, you are perfect in that moment. And so don't get caught up. Don't get caught up thinking that somehow you're not good enough because you don't look like the person that's standing next to you. You are perfect. Don't fall for anything less. Nature teaches us some things. That's why I talk about having a natural approach, because nature doesn't lie. Nature is not caught up on our ideas. Nature is not trying to impress us by telling us something that we think we need to hear. No, nature is going to do what it does. And so today, as you go out through nature, take a look at it and see what nature says to you about the way that we are supposed to live. Good morning, Angela. You're perfect. Doesn't matter if you've lost all your leaves. Doesn't matter if you still have some. Doesn't matter if you're evergreen. You are perfect because you are you. And so today, rock out with that. Just hit the streets with that. Go through life with that, realizing that, listen, I'm a person in process at all times. I'm a person that's going through the seasons of life. You're welcome, Nicole. I'm going through the seasons of life, and I'm perfect in this moment. My leaves, man, maybe they fall. But you're still perfect. That's what I believe about you. And I just wanted to give you this to encourage you, because sometimes we look at ourselves seriously and we look at what we're not. That tree easily could say, man, a few weeks ago, I had all my leaves. I was green. People were sitting underneath me eating sandwiches. They were doing their thing. And now look at me. I'm looking kind of barren. It's not barren. It's in preparation. It's getting ready for the next seasons. Its roots are still in the ground. It's still growing. It's still pulling in nourishment from the earth. It's not dead. It's in process. You're not dead. You're in process. Keep going through your process. Don't give up, and realize that in a few more seasons, you will bloom again. Now, there is always a process, but realize you will bloom again. Where you're at right now is not where you will be forever. You will change. You will see your leaves come back full, rich. There's a better day coming. There's a different day coming. I'm not even going to call it a better day, because sometimes we think that this is a bad day, but it's not. It's a day of preparation. This might be for you a time to get ready for that next season. You got to be ready to have the leaves. You got to be prepared. So do that. Don't think that this is a bad day. Think that this is a day of preparation. And remember that in this season of preparation, you are every bit as perfect and marvelous and wonderful. Why? Because your roots say so. You are rooted in that. Your DNA says so. This tree doesn't become a different tree in a different season. It becomes the same tree in a different place, in a different manifestation of itself. That's the thing. You're not going to become different DNA. You're going to manifest yourself different. That's all. So the DNA of perfection and wonder and beauty, it's all in you right now. So in this moment, live in that. Realize you are every bit as marvelous as you ever will be. You are wonderful, beautiful, amazing right now. Have a fantastic day. See you.